Okay, I think I'm streaming. As per usual, we can do the audio check. Oh, I can kind of hear myself. Wait, wait, wait. Oh, I can kind of hear myself. Wait, wait, wait. Turn up my own volume. Testing, testing. My own volume. Testing, testing. Okay, awesome. That's good. Bert, welcome in. How's it going? Thanks for the unlurk. How you doing? I started a few minutes early, but I was like, I'm not prepared, but I can just get prepared on stream. That's fine. That's Charlie's Beats. Welcome in. How's it going, Charlie? Charlie and Bert, how was your weekend? How was your week? Oh yeah, let's do the Gibson eyes. That's right. It's a thing here now, right? Gibson eyes. Oh wait, let me. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So let's see. There's been some news on the Magic front. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I have to put on the cheating gloves first, otherwise it's gonna look the trick will look like a horrible mess because I won't have the tactility to do it. So let's do this first. But yeah, so actually before I get to the new Magic news, so yeah, I feel like if these cards ever wear away, I'll probably have to create new ones. That the switching between the eyes and the sus eyes emote is just too good. It's just too good. It's so amusing to me. Yeah, you guys have been here for a while. If you guys have other cool, fun ideas, like you saw how I could draw that. I'm not like the best artist, but I'm willing to spend a few extra minutes to carefully get a simple image. If there's other emote transitions, this I'm willing to experiment. Oh, are we doing? Is that a proposal, Charlie's Beats? The proposal is the Gibson Scream. I feel like that's a proposal. That's I'll take it under advisement. Okay, I'm not sure if I can do the keynote. Jeez. Oh yeah, the keynote. I mean, I'd have to have like just a very bare basic, or we could be like, oh, we're gonna change Gibson lens into a cat, and then we could theme the trick that way, right? Excuse me. Sorry, I had a sneezing. I would call sneezing attack right before I started stream. Uh, yeah. As you could. Bad, bad. Why? Bad that I had a sneezing attack, or bad that we're gonna turn Gibson lens into a cat. Okay. Oh, you're saying the bad emote. Oh. Okay. I'd say that's a proposal. Okay. Let me see here. It looks not terrible. So like one frame could be just the spray bottle, right? And then the other frame is the spray bottle, but with the bat and the spray coming out of it, right? Is that the proposal? That's not a bad idea, I think. That's Turkey Blaine, welcome in. How's it going? How are you doing? Hopefully everybody's doing well. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful week. Everybody had a nice weekend. Okay, so let's see. Am I tactily ready for for doing the what should we call this? Should we officially call it the Gibson transition? Is that what the I think that's Turkey Blaine says, just pulled into work. What's a weekend? Oh, my sympathies, Turkey Blaine. You know what? You know how people say time is a construct? A weekend is a construct. That's that's all it is. Nothing to worry about. I feel like a good name for this would be called the Gibson transition, right? Because it's Gibson lens emotes. So, all right, hold on. Let me see if I. Okay, yeah, there we go. Where were we? Oh yeah, Gibson transition. Here we go. I don't know if that was as smooth as I would have liked it. Okay, sus, not sus. All right, that one's clean. I like that one. Not sus, too sus. That one I think looked fine. All right. I think yeah, some of those are good ideas, Charlie. I think I like the spray bottle idea. I don't know if I can draw the cat, so. uh, and then is there another? There's another. Hold on. Is there another Gibson lens emote that fits with the scream? Oh, that one's animated. I don't know if I can do that one. Like, so I think I could conceivably draw like Gibson Pog, right? Like I think that could be one. So maybe we need another. Oh, wait, Gibson Pog and Gibson Smile, right? Those are two. That's certainly doable. I hope they're doable. Okay. All right. So anyway, yeah, we're just randomly brainstorming emote ideas for potentially another Gibson uh, Gibson lens trick. Gibson transition. It can be like an epic name. Okay, let's see here. What am I doing? Oh, so all right, big news on the magic front. Not like the world magic, just like in my world of magic. So I think I've alluded to before that I have been working on this project where I'm trying to find a way to encode a card trick into like a quickly viewable sheet. Um, and I equate it to like musicians' sheet music. It's not exactly the same because there's a bunch of different things, but the idea is that if there's somebody who is slightly proficient in sleight of hand card magic, could with enough practice and like reading this system, could they learn a new trick? And I am currently happy to report that I think I'm feeling very good about where my sleight reading system that I'm calling it um, is right now because I effectively have a collaborator. So I have this one magic friend. She's actually kind of a new magic friend because like a year ago I didn't know she existed, and then she appeared at the Society of American Magicians local chapter that I go to because she was a student of one of the other magicians for like a magic enrichment class for the nearby university, and she got into magic. She started coming to meetings, and she was practicing like hard stuff. Like she was practicing sleights for card magic, and I was like, whoa, like super impressed. Anyway, um, so I'm just gonna tell you guys her name because she is so instrumental. I'm probably gonna refer to her again in the future, but her name is Tiana, and so I shared my system with maybe about 4 or 5 magician friends. Most of them haven't really jumped in or dove into the system enough to really give me any feedback, but Tiana has dove in and she has given me feedback. We've like chatted back and forth. I feel like she's a collaborator. She keeps on saying, because I kind of phrased it originally as like, oh, I need alpha testers basically for this system. And she says she's an alpha tester. And I'm like, but nobody else is really like talking to me about this. So I really feel like she's a collaborator. But anyway, she spent a couple of hours with it and looked at this. She was able to learn a new trick from one of my existing sheets. At the time, I think I had maybe about a dozen or maybe 15 tricks like encoded in my sleight reading system. Um, and then later, so like maybe cut to a couple months later, she ended up saying, "Hey, let me try, notating a trick." And so in the last 2 weeks or so, she she took a trick that she was learning, I think, and she notated it in the system. Uh, Now, I just want to let you guys know I've seen this trick once. I've never actually looked it up. I don't know, like, I didn't know the plot. I didn't know. And she sent me the sheet. I saw her do it at Magic Club once. And I'm like, okay, like, there was a lot of stuff going on. It was kind of a longer trick. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I probably won't. I didn't realize it was going to be so important because this would be like the first sheet that somebody else would write me and then be like, okay. So after looking at the sheet for like 2 days, I was like, oh my god, I think I understand how to perform the trick by looking at the sheet. And I was like, holy crap, is it actually working? And I was so excited that I recorded like a secret video of just me performing what I thought the trick was. And then I sent it to her. And the next day she was like, hey, that's basically it. And I'm like, holy crap, no way. Like, and she was like, no way. And I was like, yes. So I'm so happy with where the system currently is. Originally, I was going to quote unquote uh, make some stuff to publish online in quarter 1, which technically I did, but I only shared it with like those 4 or 5 magicians. And so, but this is very encouraging. And so I think I want to make something to publish like more widely so that I could be like, hey, this is the system I came up with for card magic. Here's the reasons why I want to use it. Regardless of whether you want to use it or not, you could get these benefits too. But, um, and I did record like a short, well, I guess it's not short because it's like 25 minutes or something, but an explanation of like the benefits that you can get and like the reasoning why. But just to sum it up here, it's like a lot of card magic now, when you learn new card tricks, you have to buy books. And first of all, there's nothing wrong with buying books. Buying books is supposed to be good. The problem is, if you want to learn a specific trick, magic books are really hard to come by. They're always out of print. They're either rare or you can never find them. So unless somebody reprints a specific trick or reprints their entire collection or whatever, that's impossible. That's the first thing. Second thing, you have to read text prose, which honestly, it should be fine if you can follow along, but it's sometimes really hard. It takes a lot of time, and I'm like, if only I could just like I have experience now, right? If only there was some simplified way where I could just like get most of it, and then I can catch up on reading all the nuances or whatever for the rest of the trick. And I feel like that's this gap that my sleight reading system is going to fill. So literally the other day, Tiana and I were chatting, and I told her, if this system gets picked up, like, or even any piece of it gets picked up at all for card magic, we could be making history, like literally right now. And so I was like, oh, like I'm so excited at where this is going to go. So anyway, I have this new goal for the summer where I'm going to have something published where I explain the system to the world, like publicly, and then and maybe have a couple of simple resources for people to start using it. So that's the goal. That's the new goal right now. So basically, it's like get stuff enough ready so that I can announce to the world this is my sleight reading system, and then here's maybe how you can start using it. Like so that's the new goal right now. So I don't have to have everything figured out yet because honestly, it's still a work in development. But we're already so she and I have been already asking questions about how to address like notating and formatting certain things right now. And a question came up like the other day. It's like, well, what are the guidelines for encoding in the system? And the first thing that I came up with, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you guys, but one of them was me wanting to data drive like a trick, right? And so right now, all that text prose, since it's secret and in magic books, then it's not like easily accessible online. Like even generative AI can't get to it very easily, right? And so what I have right now is a system that uses symbols that are all in like ASCII and Unicode. So for anybody who's like into tech, all the symbology for this already exists on pretty much every computer system in the world right now. And so we would never have to worry about, things not being compatible, or like you could copy and paste it, which is like one of the things that I wanted to make sure that it could use with it. If the grammar of the system gets strict enough, then you could programmatically code things. So let's pretend I have a library of like 100 tricks and I wanted to sequence like 20 tricks together, but like I'd have to set up for each trick in between. Well, what if I could find a natural flow where like the end of this trick just flows directly into the beginning of this trick? But like I do that programmatically with data, right? And so I could find a sequence of tricks that is like, oh, there's very minimal changes. Maybe it's like one transition in between, or like no setup in between, or find new sequences of tricks to be like, oh, would have never thought to add this trick and that trick together, but that works so well, right? Like it's like that's stuff that I can't do right now. I mean, I could, but it would just be a lot of manual work and be like, well, this is where I'd be, blah blah blah. But if I could program that, right? If I could create an algorithm that finds that for me, that would be amazing. The other thing is because if we encode it in a language that's digital, even though it's symbology, I think, and I haven't tried this yet, but I could feed it into one of the LLMs, so like maybe ChatGPT or something, and be like, hey, ChatGPT, I'm creating this system. Here's what it looks like. Keep these symbols in mind. These symbols are very important for these things. This is what they all mean. And it's like, hey, could this be a thing? And I'm just like, oh man, like the possibilities, right? The possibilities are kind of insane. So, Jay and the Magic Man, hello, welcome in. How's it going? Anyway, so for those of you who are like, data nerds or, technology nerds, and then also there's the whole, hey, I feel like I'm doing something like crazy new because as far as I know, nobody else has done anything like this. So yeah, Jay and the Magic Man, welcome in. How's it going? So yeah, but anyway, that's my story. That's what I'm hugely like uh, preoccupied with at the moment in the world of magic. So there is also a magic convention coming up. It's only a 1 day convention, but it's on a Sunday. I think it's in, I forget, it's 2 or 3 weeks from now. There's a chance I'm not going to be streaming on, let me see here. Is it the 26th? I think it's the 26th. Oh, sorry, that's a Saturday, 27th. Let me just double check the calendar. Yeah, there's a strong chance that I'm not going to be streaming on the 27th. If I do, I might not even do magic, but if I probably won't. But that'll be the day of the convention. Right, so, E-Room, welcome in. Thanks for the bang, E-Room. How's it going? For everybody who just arrived, I just kind of told chat about the progress on my personal project of creating a system for reading magic like you would sheet music. And so I was like, guys, this is how excited I am about the possibilities of this system. Um, and I'm a data nerd, so it's it's cool. Oh yeah, so guys, you know what I forgot to do last week? So first of all, last week was kind of crazy. It was a lot busier than I anticipated it would be. So anyway, thank you for everybody who was here last week and this week as well. But I didn't do as many shout outs as I feel like I should have. So let's do shout outs today. Let's start early. So guys, you're not following our friend E-Room. E-Room, known as the Pope of Indiana, does a bunch of different kinds of streams. So does in real life streams, community streams, opening things, does puzzle streams. I think I was lurking last week when you were doing a puzzle stream, right? So, but yeah. So give our friend E-Room a follow if you're not already following. Let's see, guys, you're not following our friend Durkee Blaine. Durkee Blaine, one of the other magicians that we know. Durkee Blaine has done some magic on stream, and I've seen Durkee Blaine do some magic on YouTube. But Durkee Blaine normally streams video games, so a variety of video games. But definitely give our friend Durkee Blaine a follow. Guys, you're not following our friend Charlie's Beats. Please give our friend Charlie's Beats a follow. Charlie's Beats has streamed before and may one day stream again. But right now, I consider Charlie a music Twitch famous chatter because, as far as I know, everybody knows Charlie. Which is kind of funny because Charlie uses Gibson lenses, Gibson eyes in like every stream, so everybody knows this emote because Charlie uses it. So yeah, not to be confused with Gibson sus eyes. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna get old. I don't know. I hope it doesn't. um, but yeah, Charlie has been known to stream video games music in the past. So, all right, guys, you're not following our friend and mod, Chan the Magic Man. Chan the Magic Man, one of the other few magicians that we know of on Twitch that has a regular magic schedule. So definitely give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Chan the Magic Man is does Magic Mondays, and so definitely give him a follow. Catch him tomorrow. If you catch Chan the Magic Man doing other streams, Chan streams a lot of gaming content. So he'll do community games, he'll do retro games. He's been playing Grand Theft Auto 5, so definitely give Chan a follow. And then definitely give our friend and mod Gibson Lens a follow. Gibson Lens, pianist, also a composer, has recently, as of last month, released his first album of his own original composed music. He didn't play all of the music himself, though. It is an ensemble collection where a lot of Twitch music friends have collaborated. So definitely, you can check that out with the ungilded link tree there. So there we go. All right, I think that's. Do we get everybody that's in chat that we currently know of in chat? I think we got everybody right. Okay. All right. Cool. So, and also, if I forget, I don't want to forget, but if Mark Rides comes in, I do owe Mark Rides technically a Fantastic Four version of Maximum Penetration. That sounds so wrong. The card trick, the card trick. Oh my god. I cannot with myself. Okay, alright. Okay, so here's the deck. Here's the Twitch deck. We do have this. I think it's about 2/3 signed already. So we only have. So these are all signed. These are not signed. I remember Malhaku and Mark Rides did sign cards before, so from last week. So they are represented. And then we had an anonymous. So I don't know who the anonymous person was, but anyway. Okay, so one trick that I think maybe I should do is one that I'm gonna be. Let me put a magician's choice into the queue. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me get ready for this here. All right. Cool. So this is a trick that it's a variation of a trick that I've done before. The original trick is called Pass at Red by Roy Walton. This is a variation of it. I'm calling it Drift at Red. So, all right. So first things first. I pulled this deck because it is already set up for it. I'm gonna set aside these two cards. They are the helper cards, and then I do want to show you that I did separate the deck. So the deck is separated in two chunks. Here's the black cards and the red cards. Okay. And so here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna go ahead and separate the two piles. So over here we have all of the red cards, and then over here we have all of the black cards. Okay, and at this point, if so, we can mix them up if we want. It doesn't really matter. But if I had a spectator here, we would have the spectator get ready to make two selections. Okay, and so, but before we do that, I want to, oh yeah, let's go ahead and show you the two helper cards. If you couldn't figure it out, the two helper cards are, as all magic tricks that have two weird cards, it is the two jokers, and the two jokers will be helping us. But I'm going to pull two of these black cards out, so and you can remember these if you want. Six of spades and the king of clubs. Okay, so six of spades, king of clubs, you can remember them. And then here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and place the two black cards into the red pile. And so now we have a red pile with two black cards. And then we have just black cards, which are two less because two of them are over there. Okay, and so that's the situation that we're in. Now, our two jokers, they're going to go ahead and surround our black section. So here we go. Two jokers surrounding the black section. And then, of course, our red section, I'm going to go ahead and cut the red section into two parts. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to surround the black section. So now we have a red section, a joker, then the black section, a joker, and then the other half of the red section. Okay. Now, if I had a spectator, what I would want them to do is to get ready to go ahead and select two cards from the red section. So if we have two people, or if anybody wants to click directly on the heat map, let's go ahead and choose two cards from the outside section here. So conceivably from the red section. And we're going to go ahead and place them up here. So we're not going to look at them though. And actually, this is also a check to see if the heat, because we had troubles with the heat map last week, right? So if anybody on desktop could just click directly on the cards, preferably in these sections, and then see if it works. And if it doesn't work, I may have to refresh the source. Okay, we got one. We got one. All right, so here's one. Cool. All right. And then if this person wants to move their heat map to another card, that's perfectly fine. It could be two cards in this section, could have been two cards in this section, or one in each section. That's fine too. It doesn't really matter. So we just need two selected. All right, excellent. I see that this one is the other selection. Okay, excellent. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and slide these out. Okay, so now here's the thing. Remember what we had done was we have the red section on the outside, right? And then the black section in the middle. And so we're going to go ahead and have the spectator, they could insert the cards anywhere they want. So let's put them in, well, anywhere they want in the middle section. So if this was just done purely without any magic, then what we would have is that any cards that were selected from the red section and put here would statistically have been red. So if no magic happened, we would just have a black section with two red cards and a red section with two black cards. Right? Now, if we had a very lucky spectator, so whoever this heat map was, if that person got one correctly, so if they hit one black card in the red section, that would have just gotten put back here. So there would be one red card in the black section and one black card in the red section. But if the spectator was extremely lucky, then here in both the red sections, we would expect not to see any black cards. And similarly, if in here, in the black section, if every card was hit correctly, they got both black cards, and there would be no red cards in the black section. Extremely lucky or magic. And at this point, the deck is fully inspectable. I could have done this with a borrowed deck of cards. I mean, just as long as they had the jokers. You could finagle it. You could just grab two other cards and just use the jokers, but it's actually better if you have the jokers. And there we go. And so that, my friends, is I would say a brand new handling of an existing trick that I'm calling Drift at Red, based on. Thank you kindly for the applause. Based on a trick called Pass at Red by Roy Walton. But so the video for that is not going up tomorrow. It'll be going up next week. So thank you kindly for the applause, Chan the Magic Man. Thank you kindly for the emotes and the claps, E-Room. And E-Room says, "I'm so lucky," says E-Room. You know what, E-Room? You were right. All of those cards were red in the red section and black in the black section. So it's either you are very lucky or you're magical, one or the other. Assuming that was your heat map. If it was somebody else, that person is super lucky and / magical. But if they were yours, it's all you. All right. Excellent. All right, so it looks like we have some requests in the queue. So, but anyway, that's a new trick that I was working on, and I'm like, full disclosure. So the original version of that trick, called Pass at Red, you don't show the packets before you have the selections. And that always bothered me, because I'm like, and here's the thing, when I put up my YouTube video of the original performance, there was a commenter that was a layperson that had been commenting on a bunch of my videos, said, but you never showed us the packets. And I'm like, you're right. And that always bothered me too. And I'm just like, and ever since it bothered me, but then I forgot about it for a while. I was like, oh, okay. And then I literally thought of it again the other day, and I was like, I really need to fix this. And so that's my solution. So you guys both got to see, or you got to see both the red packet, the black packet, before picking the cards. The spectator picks the cards, pulls them out, and then you put them back in, and boom, there you go. So E-Room says, I'm lucky. Lol. Winky face. You know what, E-Room? You are pretty lucky. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and Chan has requested the French twist. Normally I'll do this with aces, but because Chan requested it, let's do it with the queens, because, why not? Mostly because I'd like to use the card that has been signed by the person if possible, and in this case, Chan the Magic Man is the person who signed the Queen of Clubs, and so there we go. All right. Okay, so first of all, I have all four queens: the Queen of Diamonds, Spades, Hearts, and Clubs. Now with this trick, so this is French twist, but with queens. I guess it doesn't have aces in the title, so it's perfectly fine. But allow me to demonstrate what should happen here. It's if I hold the queens and I give them a shake, one of the queens should turn themselves face up after the shake is done. Okay, and so it's probably easier if I demonstrate, right? So here, let me hold this packet and give it a shake. That shake actually turns up one of the queens. In this case, it's a Queen of Diamonds. Now all of them are back face down at this point, but now if I hold the packet and give it a shake, that will turn up another queen. In this case, the Queen of Spades. Okay, so now we've got all of our cards face down, right? But if I hold the packet, give it a shake. I don't know why I just made those sound effects and I didn't for the other two, but here we go. We have the Queen of Hearts turning herself face up. And once again, we have four face down queens. But look, if I hold the packet and give it a shake, sound effects are back, guys. Sound effects are back. That will go ahead and turn up. What's the last one? The Queen of Clubs, right? We didn't turn up the Queen of Clubs. Chan's Queen of Clubs. And that's how we use all four queens We count them 1, 2, 3, 4, and we shake the packet to actually make them all turn up. But there's actually one more thing that we can do, and I just want to spread the deck like this just to show that all the cards are face down, right? So if I go ahead and I cut the queens here into the middle of the deck, if I grab the whole deck and I shake it vigorously, let me make the sound effects again. That can actually turn all of the queens face up. Because look, there we have all 4 queens face up in the deck. And that, my friends, is French Twist with the queens. Starring Jan the Magic Man as the Queen of Clubs. Also this trick was requested by Chan the Magic Man, so thank you kindly for that request, Chan. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully everybody enjoyed. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-Room, Chan the Magic Man. Costin, welcome in. How's it going? Chan's gonna lurk because hygiene is important. Totally agree. Excellent. Okay, let's see. Next up, we have a request from Charlie's Beats. Let's go ahead and find a bunch of cards to use for this trick. Inevitably, it will be too many because, you know, namesake of the trick. But that's okay. Hold on, I just need to check. Was this a boss trick last couple of times? I remember having some trouble with this at some point, but it might have been actually too long ago. Maybe it wasn't recent. But anyway, today is a Magic Stream number 136. So if anybody was keeping track, which technically I am in a spreadsheet. So, but okay, let me see. No, we have one boss trick. Is that accurately reflected? Okay. Flaming Hells, welcome in. How's it going? Wishing everyone the happiest of Sundays. Well, thank you so much, Flaming Hells. I am also wishing you a happy Sunday as well, and hopefully you had a wonderful weekend. So, great to see you. Good to see you. Obi-Wan, welcome in. Hello, Crazy Asian Chan, the Magic Man, Charlie Speeds, and Flaming Hells. Obi-Wan, hopefully you're doing well. Welcome in. All right, so let's see here. Essentially, hello everyone. Yeah, everybody say hello to everybody. Hello everybody. Flaming Hell says, I'm currently at work, filling the void with noise. Ah, I understand. My sympathies and hopefully that's a good thing that I'm like good void and not like good noise and not bad noise. Oh yes, guys, you're not following our friend Obi-Wan. Please give Obi-Wan a follow. Obi-Wan, guitarist, also a variety video gamer. So as of late, I've mostly been seeing Obi-Wan stream video games. So, but yeah, thanks again. Oh, you're welcome. Our pleasure. Okay, all right, here we go. So here we have the ace of spades, the 2 of spades, the 3 of spades, the 4 of spades, and the 5 of spades. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take, so first of all, Charlie's Beats is the requester of this trick. I like to use the card that the requester has signed, in this case, the ace of spades. And so Charlie has seen this trick before, and I know that Charlie does not think that there are too many cards, because honestly, the whole deck might be too many cards, but when there's only 5, very, very easy to follow, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to place the ace of spades not on the top, not on the bottom, but all I have to do is snap, and that will bring Charlie's card all the way up to the top. Now, here's the thing. I can go ahead and do that again and put this not on the top. And we push it in the middle. If we snap, that will bring the ace all the way back up to the top. Now I know what you're thinking. For everybody else, there's too many cards, and you only have 2 eyes. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and remove the ace from the packet. Charlie's V's got the sus eyes. There we go. Which, by the way, we have a card for that now. See? Sus eyes. Actually, has anybody ever seen Power Thirst? The old meme, like. So at the end of the Power Thirst meme, it's sus. Sorry, it has snake eyes, but I was saying sus eyes as though it was that meme. Anyway, once again, so now since we don't have the ace, the top card is the 2. So look, if I put the 2 not on the top and not on the bottom, right? If I push it in, all I have to do is snap, and that's actually going to make the 2 hop back up to the top. Once again, if I take the 2, put it not on the top, push it in, if I snap, that'll make it hop back up to the top. And to that, I know what you're thinking. I only have 2 eyes. I cannot follow these cards. And to that I would say, you know, that might be true. So I'm going to go ahead and do you a solid, and we're going to go ahead and remove another card. Okay. So now there's only 3 cards. But actually, let's do something a little bit different with the 3 cards. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and turn them all face up. And here we have the 3, 4, and the 5. Right. All I have to do is take the 3 and put it in between the 4 and the 5, like this. Okay. And if I, instead of giving it a snap, if I just give it a shake, this shake actually changes. And if you saw from the last trick, we are going to be turning over some cards, because actually that turned over the 3 of spades, which is strange, because if I now take the 3 of spades, I turn over the other cards and I put it back into the middle, and I once again give it a shake. That shake will turn the 3 back over. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? And I know what you're thinking. Well, I only have 2 eyes, but there are 3 cards. And to that I would say, okay, yeah, you're right. So now what we've got here is the 4 and the 5. So if I go ahead and I take the 4 and I place it underneath the 5, all I have to do is snap. That will actually bring the 4 back up to the top. I know, that's super weird, but look. Is that weird? Because look, the 4 is here. The 5 is here. Is that strange? That's very strange, right? Okay. So here's the other strange part. If I go ahead and, you know what? Actually, hold on. So at this point, if I go ahead and I grab the 4, right? So let me go ahead and grab the 4. Actually, wait. You know what? There's no excuses now, because there's 2 cards and you have 2 eyes. So you should be able to follow these, right? But you know what? I'm just going to do you guys a favor. And let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and remove the 4. Okay. So I'm removing the 4. So now, what card is this? There's only one. I think a lot of people would guess it's the 5. And you know what? I don't want you to get this wrong. So you're right. This is the 5. But it's probably not the 5 you're thinking of. A lot of people would probably think this is the 5 of spades. But no, this is actually the 5 of diamonds. That, my friends, is too many cards and too few eyes. There you go. Thank you for that request, Charlie's Beats. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. All right. Obi-Wan says, defying gravity, defying the laws of physics. I mean, technically transmutation is within the laws of physics, right? It's just you're doing a lot of shenanigans within physics. Like, for example, you could conceivably turn lead into gold. It's not uh, cost effective. Like, the amount of gold you would get out of it is not worth like what you put into it, right? But I mean, that's like a really complicated process that a lot of us, I'm sure, would not understand unless, there's some like hardcore, application physicists out there doing material science or whatever. But anyway, yeah. Certainly not me. I don't have that expertise. I work with computers. I'm a software engineer. I work with software. It's not even real stuff. Like, um, let's see. Oh, Obi-Wan says, you need 10 bars of gold to turn 1 gram of lead into gold. Yeah, it's something weird like that. Like, it wouldn't be worth it. Like, cost more than what you. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, that's definitely the case. Like, I mean, it doesn't cost you the actual gold, but I mean that gold converts to money. The money converts like electricity and like materials and like labor and so yeah, I think we all understand how that works. um, cool. Yeah. So the queue is empty. If anybody would like to request anything, feel free. I think what I'm gonna do right now is the one trick that I like to do every single stream because I want to keep it fresh. So we'll do that. Okay. Here we go. Oh, that's not going to look impressive unless I do this on camera. All right. So what I actually have over here is some cards that are not even part of real decks. They are the extra cards from decks. And so let me pull them out. And we will use these as the cards to cover up things. Okay. All right. So if you take a look at these random cards, these are just cards. So this one's from the Avengers deck. And then this one is from the Spider-Man deck. This is from whatever that the premium deck I opened. It was the Red Dragon deck or something. And then this is like you can play different games. Learn how to play different games with playing cards. All right, so we're gonna use those 4 cards for the coin matrix today. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all of the coins out like this. Oh yeah, let me know if the different colors are very distracting because I would like to know if they are very distracting. Because maybe that's something I can use in the future. Okay. I'm going to turn this one over just because, like, the cards have a cut and a bend, and so that's just easier. It looks and feels better. All right, so look, I'm going to make this one jump from here to here. Going once, going twice. Boom. This one goes from here to there. Boom. And then this last one. Boom. There we go. And that was the basic coin matrix. All right. Costin says, how? Thank you for asking how, Costin. Blood, sweat, and tears in practice. So that may not have looked very. That may have looked pretty impressive, but I'm a card magician, and so I like to use cards. Thank you kindly for the claps, Obi-Wan and E-Room. Let me go ahead and let me put in the queue. The next one is the cardless coin matrix. So we're going to do a similar trick, but without any cards this time, just in case you thought that the cards were somehow. So we have 4 coins. I just so I have stacks and stacks of coins. I like using them because, first of all, they have like different feel and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, hands are empty. So we've got coins here, And so that's what we're going to be now doing. So once again, let's go ahead and exchange. Okay, we can do it again. Exchange. Another exchange. Okay. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3 over here, and then we've got 1 over there, and last one. There we go. And that, my friends, is the cardless coin matrix. There we go. Thank you kindly for the claps, Obi-Wan, E-Room, and for the how, Costin. Hopefully there's another how. It's like, how? Thank you kindly for the transporter, Obi-Wan. Only magic trick I know is putting 4 socks in the washer and only 3 come out. Costin, that is a very, it's a very magical and mystical thing. I don't understand that trick as well, so yeah. Obi-Wan says, you've been using transporter tech here. I mean, yes, you're right. You're right. I have been using transporter tech here. That is correct. I'm not sure who my top transporter officer would be. I think it would either be, let me see here. It's probably either going to be like E-Room, Mark Rides, or Charlie. I think one of them would be the top, would be the Miles O'Brien of my transporter. If only there was a. Oh, does anybody know if there's statistics on like redeems? Like, can I find out who redeemed the transporter the most? I'm gonna guess it's probably one of those 3. But yeah. So, oh, you know what? I haven't. If anybody is thirsty and you've been sitting around for a while and you have not hydrated, please feel free to hydrate. Tonight I'm having, speaking of transporters, Earl Grey tea. So once again, it's not hot though. It's like lukewarm. I don't think that information is saved, at least not long term. But you'll have to manually count. Oh yeah, if it is saved long term, I would probably have to count. This is awesome though. I've watched a bunch of your VODs and they make me very happy. Oh, Costin, I'm very happy to hear that you've watched a ton of my VODs. Um, like I was kind of, so first of all, there's other magicians and they have different philosophies on whether to have VODs up or whatever. And for me, I'm just like, all right, if anybody wants to catch me on like messing up a trick, I've done it before on stream. But at the moment, you'd have to go through like 136 other VODs that are like 2 hours long. And so that's a lot of time if somebody wants to catch me, doing something. I'm like, all right, whatever, that's fine. Go ahead. And honestly, I put them up because it shows that I am doing these streams and I'm not like clipping them around the tricks. Like I can do the trick. Like I mostly did it because I'm like, I want to show you that I can do these tricks like, impromptu or just like when I don't have to like prepare for it, right? Like I'm ready to do this trick like for this performance. So, but also I think it shows like a nice track record. The other thing is like there isn't anything like this for magicians. Like I've tried looking for VODs of other magicians' live streams, and maybe a magician might have like 2 or 3. The only exception that I've found now is Chan the Magic Man. So basically, he and I have all of our VODs up and or on YouTube, and like they're all there. So right. But everybody else like either doesn't have VODs or has like a few, and that's it. And so I'm like, okay, but there's a lot of creativity I think that happens on stream. Like just chatting with you guys or like the topics that you bring up. Sometimes I'm like, hey, we're talking about video games. Let me just theme the next trick as video games. And it's like, like I wouldn't get that stuff like in isolation. I'd have to come up with it, which I'm capable of doing. It's just not as easy doing it. But then also there's that risk reward. Like if I try something new on stream, right? If I nail it, it feels really good, right? It's like doing a really hard level in a video game. But if I fail, it's okay. Like I mostly use these streams for practice and and to have fun, right? So like I'm not having fun streaming, I'm probably gonna stop streaming. Although in my mind I'm like, okay, I'll stream other stuff, but that's it, right? Even if, and I don't necessarily want to say this because I don't know if this would ever become the case, but let's pretend that my company got hit by a meteor and like, everybody at the company gets unemployed and I don't have a job anymore, right? Like it's like if I couldn't find another job and this were to become my income, then like I almost feel like I really wouldn't want to stream if I wasn't having fun, right? Like I'd probably just find a job at that point. But if this could become my job and I could have fun, then awesome, right? That's yeah. Um, let's see. Turkey Blaine says, "I'm back. Woohoo! Welcome back, Turkey Blaine." All right. You know what? Let me do a trick. Because I know that Turkey Blaine likes Triumph. So let's do that one next. But yeah, that's kind of like my philosophy on like why I put my VODs up. But oh, before I get to doing this trick though, but if anybody wants to just watch a lot of content where I make a bunch of magic or I've done magic, here's my YouTube channel. I have over 300 magic tricks posted on YouTube. Actually, I have a slightly updated count. As anybody can imagine, it is in a spreadsheet. I have 314 magic performances on YouTube. So, yeah. Oh, well, actually, wait. Correction. It's 312 visible to you guys now. I have 2 more prepped. They will release, one tomorrow and then one the following Monday. But yeah, I've effectively scheduled and performed and uploaded 314 magic tricks to YouTube. So, but anyway, all right. So here we go. Here we have a deck, and it doesn't matter, and they're all different, and some of them are signed. Actually, about 2/3 of the deck is signed, but we can have a card selected. Durkee Blaine, if you were there, if you would like to select a card, you are welcome to, and if you don't want to, that's okay. We can pick a card too, but let us know if there's one you want to pick, or we can just auto pick. Um, let's see here. King of Spades, says Durkee Blaine. Durkee Blaine has selected the King of Spades. So here, the King of Spades, we will go ahead and place somewhere into the middle of the deck. And then what we will do is we will shuffle the deck. And importantly, this is the part that really gives the name Triumph. So if you ever see other tricks that are either based off of Triumph or are somehow related to Triumph, this is the part that will probably scare people who really need to be organized. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle face up into face down cards. Now, whether you see your card or not doesn't matter. I'm going to shuffle these cards in face up into face down. And this is the part that, I love Triumph, says Durkee Blaine. Yes, that's why I put it in the queue for you. I mean, I knew that Durkee Blaine likes this trick, so I'm like, all right. Anyway, so let me show you how messed up this is, though. So here we've got cards that are face up, face down, face up, face down, and here I'm going to show you that we've got a back to a front. And we have like a front to a back. We even have a back to a back. So yeah, so this is all messed up. However, we're going to fix this. We're going to fix this. Eroom says, "Fight the good fight." That's right. You can't have Triumph without fighting the good fight. That reminds me of an arcade video game that I used to love. It's called Final Fight. Or Mighty Final Fight, if you like the... I don't know if that's a sequel or it's like a redo or whatever, but... we're going to go ahead and fix this. Now, in that arcade game, there were 3 characters that you could play. Well, it depends on which version, because one of them you could only pick from Hagar, and Guy. Hagar was like this big, brutish kind of fella in suspenders, and then Guy was like a martial artist in a red suit. But there was another version where you could pick a guy named Cody, and he was just like in jeans and a white T-shirt and a headband. And I never liked playing Hagar because he was just too slow for me. Like I liked smashing the button and like, but look, we're gonna go ahead and try and defeat all of the bad guys in this stack as the final fight occurs, right? And you know how like after you defeat them, their bodies are like littered on the screen? But actually back then, they would actually have the bodies fade away. So after we defeat everybody, this is going to look very nice and neat and tidy because all of those bodies have faded away. All of them except for one. And as you can imagine, that one, that character is not dead yet. That's you. So whether you chose Cody or Guy or Hagar. Gibson Len says Mighty Final Fight was the NES version, I think. Oh, okay, all right. So, and I'm still trying. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Hagar, that's the Viking comics. Hagar with two, oh yeah, with the umlaut, right? But anyway, here's our King of Spades. That, my friends, is how you defeat Final Fight and win. Honestly, just with enough quarters, even you could die a lot, just pay enough quarters. But yeah, so Costin says Final Fight, yeah. And then Mighty, okay, so Mighty, all right. So Durkee Blaine is trying Kostya Kimlat's version. Ugh. Okay, so for everybody else, the uninitiated who don't know who Kostya Kimlat is, so Kostya is a magician, but he has some really. So he likes to make tricks, and some of the things are very. He will make tricks that are accessible to a lot of people, but there's some tricks where he's like, okay, this is not for everybody. This is like for the hardcore people who love doing hard card stuff, and like that's. So I'm assuming that this is the. I'll have to look it up again later. I forget exactly what happens in Kostya Kimlat's Triumph, but I think this might be one of the ones that's like the hard ones. But yes, Hagar with the two. Is that an umlaut? Is that what that's called? I forget. It's an X. Okay, so accent two dots is let me see here. Yeah, umlaut. Okay, yep. Cool. My memory serves me. I am not that old yet, even though. You mean hard for other magicians to perform? It's just like hard as in like it's sleight intensive. Like maybe most magicians, unless they're highly like dexterous and skilled in like those sleights, it's harder to do. So, um, so yes, I guess is probably the answer to your question. Obi-Wan, yeah. All right. Okay, yeah. So let's see here. I did have a trick that I released on my YouTube. I forget it was last week or 2 weeks ago, but it was the. It must have been last week because it was April Fool. It was an April Fool's joke. But the trick before was when I revealed the double backer. I called back to it in that April Fool's trick. But that April Fool's trick was basically a triumph trick, except at the very end, there's a surprise. I won't spoil it here, but um, yeah. And I'm not actually equipped to. I mean, I guess I have everything. I could do it. It's over there, but let's see. Charlie has requested oil and water. All right, awesome. Thanks for the request, Charlie. And all right, so let me go ahead and get some. Actually, I can do the setup for this kind of like on camera. This is nothing super secretive of this, honestly. But I like to use red face cards and black spot cards when I do this trick. So Let me see. Let me swap out. Let's use both of those and both of these. Okay. All right. Okay, so what we have here are 4 red face cards, 4 black spot cards. Now, at a quick glance, if I was to just randomly flash these, you wouldn't mix up the red face cards with the black spot cards, right? So I'm going to leave them separated. I'm going to go ahead and turn the red face cards face down. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and intermix the black spot cards with the red face cards here in the middle, right here. So here, black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red. And now if we just give it a second. Oh yeah, let me explain. So when magicians will do this trick, they'll come up with like fun stories. We call that the patter. So it's like the words that you say. Some of the patter doesn't make logical sense, and I kind of tried to steer away from certain ones. So like there's this one where people will say, "Oh, the black ink is like heavier than the red ink, and that's how they behave like oil and water." And so if you take a look, the black ink. And so obviously that's, I mean, the cards are printed; they basically weigh the same. But I always like to frame it as a simulation, just because then you can get away with any story you want. And so, guys, this is just a simulation of oil and water, where like one color is the oil and the other one is the water. So if we take a look at the bottom card, that's black. If we take a look at the top card, that's red, right? But actually, if we look, all of the cards on the top are all red face cards now. And all the cards on the bottom are all of our black spot cards. I know, super weird. Now, I know, you may not be impressed. And also, there's this other technique, which I talked a lot about. Well, I was basically talking a lot about this trick, like right before the final reveal. There's this thing called temporal misdirection, where we literally just talk more and then we slow down the trick. So, like, I could do this whole trick if I didn't talk, probably in less than, 90 seconds. But you add temporal misdirection, people who are like paying attention, they won't pay attention as much or as well. So, it's very, yeah. So anyway, you might think that last time was kind of cheating because I started with a black card and then black ended up sinking down to the bottom. Okay, so maybe let's dispel that. And this time let's start with red. Okay, so here, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black. And now, if I just go ahead and I separate them, they've been separated. I mean, whether the colors are mixed up or whatever, it doesn't matter. I've separated them. But wouldn't it not be interesting if the simulation already had enough time to work, right? Wouldn't that be cool? That'd be super cool, right? I think it would. I mean, whether you think it would or not, would you not be impressed at the sleight of hand? If there was sleight of hand in the simulation. So if you believe that what I literally just did was just place the cards down, then you would believe that this is a red card because I started with a red card. But if you believe in the simulation, well, as like the first one, black sunk down to the bottom, right? And red floated up to the top. So if I take a look at the topmost top, that's red. And the bottommost bottom, black. Red on the top, black on the bottom, red on the top, black on the bottom, red on the top, and black on the bottom. That, my friends, is oil and water. So that is a classic of Magic. You'll see different versions. So this one is the 8-card version that is specifically like these. It's like this guy invented it, and then this guy is the person that does this handling that I do. But there's like a 6 card version. There's like a 10 card version. There's I actually did one. I recorded a YouTube performance, and I think I started with 6 cards, so 3 and 3, and then I worked all the way up to like, if it was 10 or 12 cards total. So it'd be 6 and 6, and it's crazy. Like, so um, thank you kindly for the claps. Charlie's Beats, E-Room. Actually, let me see if I can do. So I've never done this on stream before because I don't normally do this. I also think it's potentially less impressive than the one I just did. But let's show you the 6 card version. This is like supposed to be a little bit easier to perform. So okay, all right. So look, I've got the red face cards over here. I've got the black spot cards over here, right? And so here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna go ahead and lay them down over here like this, right? And what we'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and interweave them. And so if I show you, we've got, so the red cards over here, the black cards over here, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and say black, red, black, red, black, red. Okay, and now if I just give the simulation just a minute, they've separated because look, I'm just going to go ahead and peel the 3 bottom ones, and they are all the black cards, and over here are all of the red cards. Now, obviously I did that like a little bit, there's a lot of like undercover stuff, right? So maybe I can do this one a little bit more open, right? And so here's what we're going to do now instead. If you guys didn't notice, as I was performing at that time, right? I didn't flip over any of these cards. So, but you know, here we go. So here we've got black, red, black, red, black, red, and so you got to see a lot more there. But look, if I snap, the simulation can complete. And if I just spread, I'm not doing anything funny. I'm just taking the top 3. And if I show you the 3 bottom cards, black, red. Okay, so we could do something like that similarly, but also with 4 cards. Okay, so we have our 4 black spot cards over here, our 4 red face cards over here. And so here's what we'll do. Okay, so once again, we have, let me get this a little bit more on camera. So we have black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red. And now if we give it just a second, if I spread, all I have to do is, now if I just go ahead and I turn them over, we have red, 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 black, 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 black. There we go. And that, my friends, was more variations of oil and water. So that was not this version, but is another version. And there's like multitudes of them, but like card separating is like a very common plot in Magic. Mark Rides, welcome in. How's it going, Mark Rides? How are you doing? Welcome in. Hopefully you had a good weekend. Thank you kindly for the claps. Durkee Blaine, E-Room says, nice, nice, nice. Thank you kindly for the claps. All right. Mark Wright says, doing good. Excellent. All right, Mark Rides. I'm going to do Devil's Elevator, and then afterwards, I do remember that I owe you a performance of Maximum Penetration, the card trick, but themed as Fantastic Four. So maybe I'll just go ahead and put Maximum Penetration, the card trick, into the queue now. And then, let's see here. So, boom. All right, there's Devil's Elevator. Okay, cool. All right. So let's do Devil's Elevator first. Let's go ahead and let me find a bunch of cards. Actually, I don't. Yeah, I need this one. Oh, wait. No, this will be easier if I use. Sorry, I'm just. It doesn't matter which suit I actually choose to be all of the cards, but it's just a matter of like which cluster of like all of them that I find first, basically. Um, let's see. Durkee Blaine says, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Should receive my first actual set of cups and balls that is not balled up aluminum foil and styrofoam cups. Oh, awesome. That's sweet, Durkee Blaine. May I ask what material your cups are? Because there's a lot of different ones. You can get plastic cups. You can get metal cups, which are super nice. But yeah, so let me know. I'd be curious to know. So I don't practice the cups and balls. I probably could not do it very well, but I understand the principles for cups and balls. But to be fair, if you've ever seen Penn and Teller do it with clear plastic cups, it's basically that. like, uh, Turkey Plain says the brass set with the mini cups and balls from TCC. Oh, okay, that's good quality. That's good quality stuff. Oh, excellent. All right. So here we have uh, 8 cards. Let's first start with these. These are the black sixes and nines. And I'm mostly using sixes and nines, not just because of the meme, but because at certain angles it'll look like 666, and the trick is called the Devil's Elevator. And then we have the 5, the 4, the 3, and the 2 of diamonds. And so I'm just going to go ahead and leave the sixes and nines over here just for a second. And then over here I'm going to lay the other cards out, and we will keep track of them. So here we'll have the 5, and then here we have the 4, and then we have the 3, and then I'm going to place the 2 on the top over here. Now, so as with any business, hell is not just a religious place. Hell is a business, and as all good businesses, they have a maintenance elevator. And if you ever find yourself in any of the levels of hell, which are going to be represented by these, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, that's how deep in hell you are. But the easiest one to escape from is the topmost one. So if I go ahead and I take the 2 and I place it in the second level of hell, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, the number 2 is going to find a way to get in the elevator, press the elevator button, and then hopefully that will bring them up to the highest level of hell, or in this case, the one that's closest to the surface. And that's the one. Mark Ride says 696969. I know you're going through the floors 6969. I don't want to have any social commentary on that, but I'm thinking funny, dirty thoughts in my head. So if that clarifies anything for anybody, I got my 69 emote ready for the meme. All right, so now here we go. If we just go ahead, that 2 is now arrived at the top here. There we go. Now, if we go ahead and I take the 3 and place it in the third level of hell, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, push that in. And the 3 goes in the elevator, presses the elevator button. Just give him a second. That 3 will hop from the third level of hell all the way up to the top. Because look. Mark Ride says, if you flip it, you have my high school class 96. Oh, awesome. I remember 96. I think I was in 6th grade. All right, so, but some people believe that there were some cards in here, but if I show you, these are the same 6s and 9s, or 96, that we've been using the whole time. Now I'm going to place the 4 here in the 4th level of hell, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. That the 4 is going to go ahead and get into the maintenance elevator, press the elevator button, and hopefully get out. And the funny thing is, the balloons at my high school reunion couldn't stay straight and were flipping to 69. I mean, whether they could stay straight or not, I'm sure high schoolers would like to make them say 69. Ah, excellent. Thanks for the ding, Mark writes, because now look, here's the 4. The 4 has gotten up to the top. And some people think that I've been using more than 4 uh, more floors in the levels of hell. But no, these are the same 4 cards we've been using the whole time. So now we're going to place the 5 here in the 5th level of hell, the lowest. I'll square that up. And the 5 is going to get into the maintenance elevator. Press the elevator button. And hopefully that will be enough to get the 5 out. So here we go. And Chan the Magic Man dings the 5. There it is. And here are all the other 6s and 9s that we've had the entire time. Mark writes, thanks for the transporter. Chan the Magic Man, thank you kindly for the applesauce. Inside joke. For the applause. All right. So let's see here. Okay, I'm going to try and perform Maximum Penetration, the card trick, themed as Fantastic Four. And I'm going to actually change up the cards to hopefully be more accurate based on the original version of my Fantastic Four trick. So that means I'm going to be using the 2 of clubs as Reed Richards, the 7 of spades as Johnny Storm, 8 of diamonds as Ben Grimm, and then yeah. And then if you haven't seen this trick before, I don't want to spoil it any further, but we'll get there. Okay, let's see. All right, boom, boom, and then let me see. Boom. Okay. All right. How do I want to represent? Oh, this is tricky. Okay, we'll do this. We'll do it this way. Okay. Okay. Oh wait, I need the box. As part of the trick, I actually need the box. Okay. So we'll start with this. All right, I have to get the sequence right because it's going to be a little bit weird because I'm not using 1, 2, 3. So please hold. Okay, doing this, and this. Okay. I think. 2 of clubs. Can you use the red 7 of spades? Oh, I was just going to use the signed cards from the Twitch deck, so I won't have the flaming. I won't have the flaming Johnny Storm. So, okay, all right, here we go. Maybe for next time when because I have to. So there's some stuff in there that I basically have to gut. I basically have to pull another deck and gut it. I don't have currently what's available. Make sure I have backs that match and things. But okay, so boom, boom, boom. Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so this is Maximum Penetration, the card trick, themed as Fantastic Four Part 2. All right, so Last, when we left our adventurers, they got their powers, they came back to Earth, they became the Fantastic Four. But now we have an empty box, but this empty box is not an empty box. This is going to represent Doctor Doom's lair. And so here, I just want to show you that currently Doctor Doom's lair is empty. And so there's nothing in Doctor Doom's lair. That will be important later. And then over here, we have a couple of Doctor Doom's henchmen. So we've got a Joker, and then we've got a Joker to represent Doctor Doom's henchmen. Okay. And then we have, so here we have the Two of Clubs, which is Mr. Fantastic. We have the Seven of Spades, which is Johnny Storm, or the Human Torch. And then we have the Eight of Diamonds, which is the Thing. And so let's start with Mr. Fantastic. So look, the henchmen are going to come and they're going to capture. So here we have the henchmen capturing Mr. Fantastic, right? And so here we go. What if we go ahead and have Mr. Fantastic get captured by the henchman? Well, he's going to use his power of being extremely stretchy to stretch himself through the grip of the henchman. Because look, he's going to escape. 1, 2, 3. There he goes. And he's escaped. Okay, so let's see. Next up, we have Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, and the reason why he's not flaming and on fire is because he didn't have time to say "flame on," so that was actually not the situation that he was hoping for, right? And so here we can actually see Johnny Storm. Okay. I just realized that. Hold on. Let me go ahead and take Johnny Storm out of here just for a second. And what we're going to need to do is do something. Because I forget if I did this correctly. I think it's the 1, 2, 3 messing me up. But anyway, okay. So I think what we have here is we now have this Johnny Storm in between the two henchmen. Okay. And so you can clearly see that Johnny Storm is captured in between the two henchmen right here. Okay. But Johnny Storm, he's going to try and say flame on, and even if he doesn't get successfully all fired up, right, he's actually going to be able to still escape from those two henchmen because he's going to 1, 2, and 3. So there we go. Okay. All right. Crisis averted. Okay. Next up, we're going to have, so in this case, the Thing, aka, Ben Grimm, aka the Thing. He's very strong. Doctor Doom does end up getting the Thing into his lair, and so the henchmen put the Thing into the lair, and so now they lock him up. And the two henchmen are like, hey, yeah, let's go ahead and go tell the boss. And so they decide to try and go find Doctor Doom to report on the good news. But they didn't know that the Thing has this tagline saying, it's clobbering time, and he breaks through walls. And so the Thing going to go ahead and break through the walls of Doctor Doom's lair because there he is. Now, those two henchmen, when they realize this happened, they try and get back to the lair to try and get the Thing back in there. But as it turns out, the henchmen can no longer be found because those two henchmen have been dispatched by the Invisible Woman, who is represented by the Queen of Hearts. And so that has all been taken care of. And so now here are the Fantastic Four. And as you can imagine, if we try and look back in the lair, now a lot of people believe that, there is something in the lair. A lot of people believe that the henchmen actually made it back there. However, if we take a look, there's one card in the lair, and it is, normally I would say it is actually Doctor Doom, but because Mark Rides requested this trick last week, here inside Doctor Doom's lair is Mark Rides' signed card, the King of Hearts. And that, my friends, is Maximum Penetration, the card trick themed as Fantastic Four. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, E-Room. I actually am not entirely sure on how to pronounce the creator's name. I would call the creator Fennec. It's spelled F-E-N-I-K, but I've also sometimes heard that it could be pronounced Fenique, so that could actually be accurate. I don't know. I think it's a European name, so Fenique is not like out of the question. Thank you kindly for the claps, Jerky Blaine. Yeah, when I first saw that trick, it was actually somebody else's performance, and it was themed as though uh, Houdini going through his historical like escapes, right? And so he would escape, as the ace first, and then he would do like another escape, and then the third escape seemed more impossible, and then the fourth escape was like, oh my god, mind blown, and then the fifth was like, oh my god, I didn't even know he was trapped escape kind of thing. And so, yeah, conceptually it makes sense, and when it was themed that way, and I was like, oh, I'm impressed. I like it. All right, let me go ahead and get ready for the next trick. The next trick is called matching the cards. If you didn't know, we're gonna match cards. That's what we're gonna do. How come I cannot find things? I'm bad at finding. Wait, are they already all here? Oh no, I'm missing. Hold on. Wait, this would be. Oh, there it is. I'm bad at searching through a deck. Basically, that's what it comes down to. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. I think I want to do this. And by this, I mean, let me change up a thing really quick. Anyway, hopefully everybody's doing well. If you haven't hydrated in a bit, please feel free to hydrate. Um, then, sorry guys, when you are doing a trick and you're changing things on the fly, that's the exciting part. Okay. All right. Okay. So next up is a trick called matching the cards. I was to say vanishing the cards. I'm like, wait, I don't normally vanish the cards. That's not a trick I normally do. Okay, first things first. Let's let's go ahead and, all right. So first things first, I'm going to need to make a prediction. And so I'm going to go ahead and just go through the cards until I feel like a card, this is feeling good. So I want to predict with this card. ZD Major 7, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. Hold on, I'm going to pause and, why am I'm not hearing anything. I should have heard wait, I heard that. I might have to check up on my raid music later. But ZD Major 7, welcome in. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, Charlie's Beats, Unfocused and IA. Thanks for the shout out to ZD Major 7. Guys, you're not following our friend ZD Major 7. ZD Major 7, pianist, also is part of a video game orchestra. Jer Roke says ZD Major 7. I never knew you had so much facial hair. Wait, did I say that I was ZD Major? I don't think I said that. Or did I actually say that? No, I said welcome. I don't know. Whatever. I'm tired. No. No. Anyway, welcome in, J-Rope. How's it going? Oh, thank you for the follow, Brian Stewart. I think I've seen Brian Stewart in Rob Kovacs' stream. But anyway, welcome in. How are you doing? How was the stream? How did it go? Hopefully it went well. First time chatter, welcome in, Brian Stewart. Okay, so let's see here. ZD Major 7. I know sometimes you like to run. That's what happens when you lurk so much, miss my transformations. Oh. Oh, I see what happened. Okay. Jer was away, came back, and then okay, all right. That makes sense now. Okay. But ZD Major 7, how are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. You would be correct about Brian Stewart. Yes, I vaguely remember. My apologies. Also, I've not been hanging out too much in Rob Kovacs' stream. Although there's sometimes where I'm like, "Ooh, I'm ready," and then I find out that Rob isn't streaming. So I'm like, "Oh, okay." But anyway, yeah, I would like to show a trick for the Raiders. So that does happen to be me, says Brian Stewart. Excellent. So here, you know what? So we have ZD Major 7 has signed, and by the way, thank you so much for that resub, ZD Major 7. ZD Major 7 has signed the 8 of Spades. ZD Major 7 says, so unfortunately I can't stay long. I'll give my request to someone who came in with me, but I'll have you mobile. Okay, great. Thank you so much, ZD Major 7, for the raid. I know ZD Major 7 sometimes likes to run off for ice cream or hot chocolate or cocoa or something. So, but totally understandable. Yeah, I definitely, if you got to do stuff, I totally understand. So, but yeah, if I'll show a trick for the Raiders, and then if anybody wants to request on behalf of ZD Major 7, that's perfectly fine as well. Okay. All right. So first things first. Here we have the 8 of Spades, signed by ZD Major 7. And I'm going to go ahead and place this here into the middle of the deck, like, say right about there. Okay. But because we now know that the raid has come here, we will be able to draw all of the community members of ZD Major 7. Thank you so much for bringing the community members over here. And now, ZD Major 7, the community members have come up to the top. There's ZD Major 7 right there. I also think it's funny that ZD Major 7 signed an 8, and so it's ZD Major 7, 8. But look, now if we go ahead and snap, we'll go ahead and see ZD Major 7 again. Right there. And once again, if we go ahead and we put ZD Major 7 into the middle, let's pretend this is like the search algorithm, right? ZD Major 7 search algorithm goes in there. And actually, well, we haven't snapped yet, right? So the raid hasn't happened. So the top card, not ZD Major 7. Some people think magicians might, hide on the bottom, but look. Now ZD Major 7 comes up to the top. I know that's strange, right? Very strange. Some people believe that magicians might do something sneaky like swap out a card. I'll leave this sticking out. You'll know it's the same one because it is a signed card, signed by ZD Major 7. And I'm going to go ahead and take that and place it in the middle of this packet. I'm going to take this whole packet and place it into the middle of this packet. But all we have to do is snap, and that will bring ZD Major 7 up to the top. Now, normally I don't end it like this. I'll end it right here, but because of the raid, thank you so much for the raid, ZD Major 7. I'm going to go ahead and do one additional thing. We're going to go ahead and put a bend into ZD Major 7's card. We're not going to crease it. We're just going to bend it. Okay, so, and then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to stick it here into the middle of the deck. So you'll be able to see that that bend is right there. Okay. And once again, you will not, you will be able to, if you just pay attention to the top of the deck very closely, if I just go ahead and I give it a snap, you'll see the moment when ZD Major 7 hops up to the top. I don't know if you can now tell, but that top card is slightly bent. And that top card is ZD Major 7's signed and bent 8 of spades. And thank you so much for the raid, ZD Major 7. Thank you kindly for the applause, E-Room. Thank you kindly for the claps, Unfocused in IA. Oh, actually, mods, if we haven't gotten a shout out for Unfocused IA, if we can give Nalani a shout out. Thank you kindly for shouting out Unfocused. Guys, you're not following our friend Unfocused in IA, Nalani, musician, variety streamer, also does art streams, also plays games. So definitely give Unfocused in IA a follow. My pleasure. If I recall, I don't believe that anything could ever take this away, but guys, if you didn't know, the very first raid to my stream was an Unfocused in IA raid to here. So, and even if my memory is poor, I guess I have this spreadsheet, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct. So, yeah, Unfocused IA was the first raider ever to this stream. Confirmed. It was on my second stream, 2022. So, anyway, thank you so much for the raid back then, and I know you've raided in since several times. And actually, I'm pretty sure you've signed a card as well, so thank you so much. Let me, here it is, 5 of Hearts, Unfocused in IA. There we go. It was just like yesterday, I know, right? It was so a while ago. All right. Oh, hold on, I had prepped for a trick that appears to have disappeared from the queue. I know I have to do matching the cards, so hang on. Matching the cards. This was in the queue. Alright, there we go. It was just like yesterday. Yeah, it's 2025 now. It's like 3 years. Man, time flies. Time flies. Alright. So, I was in the middle of a trick before the raid. I mean, I'd barely started, but I figured so we'll go ahead and do that again. And this was requested by Chan. So, all right, here we go. All right, so, oh yeah, first things first, we can give this like a little bit of a mix there. So, boom, 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 boom. Okay, I'm going to need to make a prediction. So I'm going to make a prediction. So here we go. We're going to predict a card. E-Room says Tempest Fugit. And Chan says time flies. Yep. So here, I would like to make this card as a prediction. So that's my prediction. And so, yeah. Now, in order for this prediction to be accurate, I'm going to find 3 other cards, and then hopefully the prediction is correct. Okay, so so here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and feel for another card just whenever it feels right. Maybe here. And so let's see what it is. It is Ace of Hearts. Okay, so here's the Ace of Hearts. Now, in order for this prediction to be correct, then this would need to be, so that could be an ace or a heart, right? Okay. So now let's go ahead and boom, Boom, boom. Okay, so now let's go ahead and grab this card. This is the ace of spades. Okay, so this is now feeling like that should be an ace. So I'm going to go ahead and place the ace of spades down here. So we have ace of hearts, ace of spades. And then let me see. If we just go ahead and just go through here, maybe let's go ahead and find another card that will hopefully match the prediction. And if we take a look, we have the ace of diamonds. Iced Flame X, welcome in. How's it going? Thank you so much for the resub. I'm not going to move my hands yet. Okay, here we go. All right, emotes are clear. All right, I'll finish up the trick and then... Ice Flame X, welcome in. How's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. Great to see you. Yeah, long time no see. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and place the ace of diamonds here. All right, so in order for this prediction to be correct, if this was the ace of diamonds, ace of spades, and ace of hearts, for this to be impressive, what should this be? It should be the ace of clubs, right? But actually, I know that there was some shenanigans afoot because, unfortunately, this is not correct because I just realized, man, this is a little bit because, okay, so I like to use the card that the person who requested this and Chan had requested it. So this is actually the queen of clubs. But because Chan the Magic Man is also a magician, Chan the Magic Man could make the predictions match. And so here we go. Chan the Magic Man will turn all of these aces, turn the ace of hearts into the queen of hearts, and turn the ace of spades into the queen of spades, and turn the ace of diamonds into the queen of diamonds. And that, my friends, is matching the cards. Starring Chan the Magic Man. Thank you kindly for the claps, Chan the Magic Man, and the applause. Okay, all right. So, Ice Flame X, yeah, long time no see. How's it going? How's life? What's going on? What's new? Welcome in. Good to see you. How are things? And actually, and let me just double check. I'm pretty sure Ice Flame X has signed a card. Ice Flame X has signed a king, I believe. Ice Flame X has signed the king of spades in this deck. Thank you so much for the support, Ice Flame X. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and find all of the kings because we're going to be using them for I Know Kung Fu anyway. So that works out. But yeah, hopefully you're doing well, Ice Flame X. Oh, Ice Flame X has also gotten French Twist. All right, so I did do French Twist earlier, but I can do it again after this. So I'll do it in this sequence because I'll just use the kings for both, and then we'll go from there. All right. Okay. Ice Flame X says, I've been doing well. I am about to have my own mail route now, which is exciting. Oh, awesome. That sounds exciting. All right, so first things first, I've set aside the 4 kings over here. They're going to be our helpers, and then we need another card selected. So let's see. I know Charlie requested this, so we should probably choose the ace of spades because that's signed by Charlie. There we go. Okay, so I have the ace of spades here, and then the 4 kings over here. So we have a red king, a red king, black king, and then we have another black king. And so I'll leave the ace of spades over here. And now what we will do is, let me just go ahead and place the 2 black kings over here. I'm going to place the ace with the red kings. So here we've got 1, 2, 3. But now here's what we're going to do. If I just go ahead and I have the ace in my hand. I know it doesn't look like it, but it's there. It's just invisible. And so I now will be able to show you that here we only have 2 cards, and these 2 cards are the 2 red kings, and actually the ace of spades is now over here. Now, I know that may have been a little bit too fast. That's okay. We can do the trick again. We'll just go a little bit slower. So here we have the ace of spades, and then here we have our red kings. Red king, red king. Last time we turned over all of the kings, but this time let's leave the black kings face up, okay? And then we'll leave that. So here's the ace. Now, what I want to do instead this time, I will forcibly place the ace in between the 2 black kings. Okay, and the 2 red kings, I'm just going to go ahead and smash with my hand. And actually, here, the 2 red kings have just been smashed into 1 king. And I don't know if you can tell, but this one is no longer a king. This is actually Charlie's Beats signed ace of spades. But you're probably wondering where the red kings are, because there's only 1 card over here. Well, if we just go ahead and take away the black kings, I just have to hold this card by the edges and pull 1, 2, and 3. I don't know if you can tell, but I just pulled a second card out from that one, and here we have our 2 red kings. And that, my friends, is I Know Kung Fu by Jack Parker. For a second, I wanted to say that was I Know Kung Fu Spray, which, if anybody understands that old school commercial reference, props to you. You are probably my peers. Let's see. Thank you kindly for the emotes and the claps. E-Room, Charlie's Beats, Chan the Magic Man. Ice Flame X says, you just broke my brain. By the trick or by the spray? And if anybody wants to know that reference, it's I think it was Fabio doing an I Can't Believe It's Not Butter. So back in the 90s, there was this product called I Can't Believe It's Not Butter. So it was basically butter. It was like margarine, right? So it's basically fake butter. But then like the fake butter wasn't fake enough, so then they made it into a spray. And so the advertisement went, and as Fabio would say it, I can't believe it's not butter. Spray. And that I don't know, it's the most hilarious thing to me. I can't believe it's not butter. Spray. Don't clip that. Somebody's gonna clip it now. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Next up is French twist. Okay. So let's go ahead and do French twist with the kings. And before we did the French twist with the queens, but we'll do it with the kings this time. So, oh, I should, Costin's laughing. I assume Costin's laughing at the, I can't believe it's not bad. Spray. Now that I've said it a few times on stream, it seems so natural to say it, right? Like I just feel like it's, uh, I can't believe it's not magic. Spray. We can have so much fun with this meme. Okay, all right. So first things first, I've set aside the 4 kings, which we just had from the last one. So here we have the 4 kings. Here's what I want to do actually. If and Costin says I'm crying. Oh man! All right, this might be a new thing, but anyway. Okay, so here's actually what I want to do with this trick. I'm gonna hold the packet of the kings, and I'm gonna hold it, and I'm gonna shake it, and then after I shake it, um, one of the kings should turn face up. I know that's hard to believe, but let's go ahead and do this, and I'll show you. So I'm gonna hold the packet, and I'm gonna shake. this shake is actually going to turn over one of the kings, because now if I show you, there it is. King of diamonds turns itself face up. Okay. But now all the cards are face down again. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. But all I have to do is hold the packet, give it a shake. That shake, that's going to turn up the king of clubs. I know. Super weird. I can't believe it's not magic. Spray. All right. But anyway, so all the cards are face down. All the kings are face down. But all we have to do is spray. And actually, one of the kings will turn itself face up. I didn't have to shake. I could just spray that time. That sounds so weird to say. Okay, that was the king of hearts. Okay, but now all the cards are face down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now all I have to do is spray. And that will turn up our what's this? King of the Iced Flame X signed King of Spades. And that's how we use these 1, 2, 3, 4 kings, and we give it a shake. Actually, wait, we're not doing a shake. Spray. But actually, there's one more trick that we can do with this. I'm just going to go ahead and show you that there's nothing weird with the deck here. But if I go ahead and place the kings on the top, and I cut the kings in the middle, now normally I would shake the deck, but you know what? We have a new method for this. We're going to go ahead and say, I can't believe it's not magic. Spray. It's French. See, French twist. But actually, that spray is enough. Sorry, that spray is enough to actually get all of the kings to be interested, because, look, if I show you, all of the kings want to know what that... I was going to say what that perfume is, and then I can tell them it's actually butter, but fake. And that, my friends, is French twist with a weird Fabio, I can't believe it's not butter tangent there. Thank you so much for the resub, Ice Flame X, and once again, thank you for the continued support. You are still here on the King of Spades, so there you go. Thank you. Should I make that an audio clip? I can't believe it's not magic. Spray. I think that'd be a hilarious. I'm just randomly doing a trick. Somebody's just, I can't believe it's not magic. Spray. I'm sorry, I'm probably killing it right now, but you know what? I don't care. It's my stream. I can say whatever meme I want. I can kill it to death if I want. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-Room, Ice Flame X. All right. So heads up, I probably want to end stream in like the next 15 minutes or so. So if anybody wants to request any more tricks, you're welcome to. Queue is empty at this point, so feel free. And then, of course, we will always do our finale trick, which I need to figure out what we're doing tonight, because I don't remember. I've always wondered, like, because I do like some other tricks. I don't know, like, if I want a finale with any of them. Because it's always tough, because I'm like, oh, I love ending with, like, one of these tricks that I feel so good about because I've practiced it. Let's see here. Also, what trick haven't I done for a very long time? Oh, alright, this is a perfect segue. I'm going to add this to the queue. We're doing this one. You know what? I'm doing this one too. So, okay, so I'm just looking at my trick list, and these are 4-monthers, so I haven't done them in 4 months. So we're going to do both of those. So actually, I did this one. Oh, not this one. I did the other one. Actually, yeah, I'll talk about these in sequence. So the back illusion, I've recently found a potential source for back illusion, and there's a trick called Twister, but it's only anecdotally called that. We don't know what the actual source information was, but Xavier Spade has apparently been doing a version of what I would consider back illusion, and maybe where I got the ideas from. But back illusion is basically the second half of this Twister card trick, and I know that I uh, didn't take it exactly from him, probably, but I might have seen this video around the time when this came up. So I'm like, ah. Oh. So it is certainly not a Crazy Agent original, but I have to probably fix that in the trick list. But I'm glad that I have found some stuff related to it. All right. Okay. So here we go. We have the four aces, and these are different aces because they have big pips. So here we have the ace of diamonds. We have the ace of clubs. We have the ace of hearts, and then the ace of spades. Okay, so here's the thing. If I was to ask you what color the backs are, what would you say? And I think a lot of people would probably say blue, right? If you were paying attention. But actually, what if I told you that they're not actually blue, but instead they're actually red? Yeah. What if they were actually red? See? Red, 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 and red. But now the question is, well, were there two red, two blue? Or is there one red, three blue? Or is it one blue, three red? And to that, I think a lot of people would be confused because a lot of people don't know what to say there. And so I would spread out the cards at this point and say, go ahead and make your guess. You don't have to tell me if you don't want. If you want to put it in chat, that's cool too. But let me just say, the name of the trick is back illusion. And so if you could not guess, all four are ECRU. All right, E-Room. So here we go. All backs of these are actually illusions because there are no backs. They are all blank. They all completely white. And that, my friends, is back illusion. And if you were here, you can inspect these cards. They are as they appear. You could touch them. There you go. All right. But yeah, so that was the news that I found related to this trick. So I am continuing magic research, which is so hard sometimes. But all right, so I did not come up with this. It is I probably took it from another second half of this twister trick, which we also don't know the attribution information, but it is one step closer. Okay, let's see. All right, next up. So this one I actually did in person today in real life. So I don't need the box per se, but I'm just going to use it as a little platform because that just makes life a little bit easier. Oh yeah, thank you kindly for the claps, Chan the Magic Man. Thanks for clearing that, Chan, and thank you for the emotes, E-Room. Nice, 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 and clap, clap, clap. Thank you. All right, so first things first. Here we have these two fours, the two red fours. So we have the four of hearts and the four of diamonds. This is not so much a trick as it is a game. And if you were here, I would ask you to hold your fingers like this so that you can hold these two cards. I'm just going to go ahead and place them on top of this box. Now, the name of the game is remember which one's on top. So if I have the four of diamonds, you would probably say you have the four of hearts. Correct. All right. And so I'm now going to teach this person who's holding the cards how magicians might swap out a card, okay? And so we would actually slide it into their fingers like this, line it up exactly, and then pull the bottom one out from underneath very quickly, and hopefully they wouldn't feel it. But now, if I have the 4 of hearts, they must have and they would probably say 4 of diamonds, right? Exactly. And so now I'm going to do it at speed, all right? I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure just so that it stays in place here. So I'm going to swap it once, I'm going to swap it twice, and then I'll place it here. And now I'm going to ask them, okay, which card's on top? Would you be more impressed if the hearts was on the top and the diamond was on the bottom? Or would you be more impressed if the diamond was on the top and the heart was on the bottom? And so earlier today, I did this too. So we take my kid to the library because there's a music program. And the musician who does the music programs there, we call him Mr. Ray because his name's Ray. So, but well, the kids call him Mr. Ray. And I'd gotten into this habit of showing him a magic trick just a bunch of times after like this program's over because it happens like kind of on a monthly basis. And so I think I changed like kings, and then I told him later because it was like, go ahead and turn your whole hand over. And when he turns his whole hand over, he was like, oh, I'd be impressed either way. And I'm like, no, you wouldn't. But if they were completely different, then he would be. And at this point, he was like, what? Like, the reaction was priceless. So anyway, if Mr. Ray ends up ever seeing this VOD, yes, I am glad you enjoyed. There is a trick. This is a trick. There you go. But yeah, it's known as two card Monty. So it's also known as Be Honest, What Is It, which is actually its name, but most people just call it two card Monty. And so there we go. All right. And then next up we have, all right. Thank you for clearing that, Chan. Let's close the queue if we haven't already. And then I'll still put in a finale after this, and then we can still get out on time. And I do have work tomorrow, so I can't stay like late. Thank you kindly for closing that, Chan. All right. So the one thing about this trick is I do have to open up 2 decks because I need the cards from 2 decks. So. All right. Okay. All right. Ice Flame X, thank you so much for the request. So this trick is called Traveling Man. And so I have pulled out kings from 2 different decks, a red back deck and a blue back deck. And that's really all you need to know there, kings. Actually, no, the other thing that you do need to know is that they are the same sequence in both packets. So if I show you here, we have the king of clubs, followed by the king of diamonds, then the king of spades, and then the king of hearts in both packets. So at this point, we do want to have a suit selected. So I don't know if you are still there, Iced Flame X, but if you would like, select a suit, and then that's the one that we will send over to the other side. So you can choose from clubs, diamonds, spades, or hearts. Up to you. And this is a free choice. So magicians will sometimes disclaim free choice because sometimes we make it look like there's a free choice and there isn't really one, but this time it really is. Spades. All right. So here in this case, Ice Flame X has chosen spades, and so okay, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and place the spade in the 3rd position coming from the top. Okay, and I will maintain the order in each of the piles. So now it's going to go hearts, spade, diamonds, and clubs. Okay. All right. So one of the things that magicians may tell you is that when they snap, it's usually for effect, but actually that's not the case here because I'm going to go ahead and snap my fingers. What I'm actually doing is I'm kicking the spade from each pile into the opposite pile. I know that's really hard to believe, but take a look. So here in the blue pile, we have blue, blue, red, and blue. And if I show you what this red card is, it is indeed the king of spades. And then over here, the red pile will have red, red, blue, red. And if I show you this blue card, it's actually the king of spades. I know, super weird, right? But now let's go ahead and correct each pile. So now this is all blue. And then over here, this is all red. But actually now, let's go ahead and do it again. I'm going to go ahead and snap. And remember, this is not just for effect. I'm kicking over the spades from each pile into the other pile. And so now, if I show you, there is one blue card in the red pile and one red card in the blue pile. And if I show you, this red-backed card is the King of Spades in this pile. And over here, the blue one is indeed the King of Spades in this pile. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? And of course, if you were here, you would be able to inspect everything. Everything is inspectable and clean at this point. Boom. There we go. And that, my friends, is Traveling Man. That's a good trick. I really like that trick. I guess at this point, most of the tricks that I like on my trick list, I like. And a couple of the ones that I'm keeping on the list that I don't like is probably because I need to practice it because they're hard, right? Some of them are harder than others. And it's just like, but if I don't do the hard things, then it's like, I did take one off that's kind of quote unquote easier to do that I didn't like, but it's like the only trick that I've ever removed from the trick list because I'm like, I don't like doing it. All right, it's fine. I don't need to practice it either. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-Room, thank you so much for the request, Iceflame X. Hopefully you enjoyed. All right. Cool. So, let me see. I think tonight for the finale, I would like to do Dazed. So let's throw that in there. And then, so I guess it is now about that time to say thank you, everybody, for coming out and hanging out with me tonight. Thank you to everybody who interacted with the stream, whether you chatted, emotes, sound alerts, any redeems, requested a trick, clicked on the heat map, chose a card, chose a suit, any of those things. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be as much fun for me. Thank you to all the lurkers out there, because honestly, if I was at home fiddling with cards, Magic is one of those rare art forms where if I'm at home practicing Magic, there's no magic happening. The magic has to happen in your mind. Also, thank you so much to ZD Major 7 for the raid today. And thank you so much for the resub today, Ice Flame X, and ZD Major 7 also raiding and resubbing. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Also, if anybody was concerned that this was real magic, I mean, you can believe it was real magic, but I'll tell you that it's sleight of hand. However, if you still insist that it was like black magic or sorcery or deals with the devil, you know, Sleight of Hand is probably the best cover story I can come up with. So, thanks for the disclaimer, Chan. Also, if anybody wants to see more of me and I am not around, I have both a YouTube channel and all my VODs in this unlisted YouTube playlist. So if you want to go back in time and see all the... We actually alluded to looking at all the VODs today. You can. But otherwise, on my YouTube channel, I have over 300 Magic performances. I think we counted from the spreadsheet earlier. It's over 310 Magic performances on YouTube. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to check it out. Also, if you're looking for more magicians, there is Magic Twitch. You can check out that link tree. There are 4 magicians that we know of that have a regular Magic schedule or had a regular Magic schedule, but 2 of them are right here, me and Chan the Magic Man. So definitely and actually this is a good time. So let's give some mod love to our mods today. So guys, if you're not following our friend and mod, Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Chan the Magic Man, one of the other magicians on Twitch that has regular Magic schedule. Give Chan a follow and follow him for Magic Mondays on Monday nights. So, but if you ever catch Chan playing things on other days, it's usually retro games, community games, Grand Theft Auto 5 lately. So definitely give Chan a follow. And then it's also give some mod love to our friend and mod Gibson Lens, aka Bert. Gibson Lens is a pianist and a composer, and Gibson Lens has composed a lot of his own originals, which has recently been released on his first album. Um, so I think he said he played on a couple of them, but for the most part, it is an ensemble, like collaborative effort between a bunch of different musicians on from Twitch. And so actually, Unfocused NIA was in here earlier. Unfocused NIA is on a couple of tracks in the album. So, but yeah, definitely check that out if you guys are interested. And if not, like you can listen to for free on all the magic services, on the music services, man. Music 5 letters, magic 5 letters, begins with the letter M. Man, easily mix them up. um, yeah. Let's see. So we have one more trick to do. I don't like to mess up a trick at the end of stream, so if I mess this up, we're gonna do another finale. But if I do it fine, then we'll find somebody to raid and we will go from there. So yeah. But other than that, it was wonderful seeing everybody tonight. Hopefully everybody had fun. Streaming service for Magic, $1 million idea. I mean, there are already efforts since the pandemic. There were actually magicians pivoting to do gigs online, and actually, I'm not doing gigs online. I'm doing streaming, but like, I think that there are magicians that have online gigs. So, and that's kind of a thing. It's not so much a streaming service, but it is a, hey, you pay for a show, you get access to this live stream for like 2 hours, and then the magician actually performs their 2 hour magic show for you. But yeah, so interesting idea. As I said, if anything were to ever happen with my current employment, I would probably immediately fall back to like YouTube and Twitch because it's already set up. Like but I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because we literally alluded to it earlier during stream. Like we literally talked about it. I said, "What happens if my company gets hit by a meteor and everybody loses their jobs?" Like so. But anyway, thank you for the idea, Brian Stewart. I appreciate it. We have thought about it and discussed it before. But thank you for bringing that idea up because it's always a good reminder to say options, right? All right. So anyway, this is one of my favorite tricks to end with. There's like 3 or 4 tricks that I like to end with because I like the effect and I like performing them. So that's kind of like the bar for a finale trick for me. But anyway, so I have a packet of cards here. This one is if we take a look, 6 of diamonds. This one is a queen of clubs. Now, these cards, if I just count through and show you the backs, there's nothing weird about them, right? So, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's when I turn them over, there's going to be something strange because they're going to look like they have backs on both sides. See, 1, 2, actually all of them except for this one. This one is the weird one. This one is blank on this side. And so with these double backer cards, there is some strange property that these have that some people may not be aware of. But look, if I go ahead and I take, let's say, the 6 of diamonds, and I hold this packet over it and I reflect it, I don't know if you can tell. Houludini, says Brian Stewart. That's a great idea for a name. All of the cards actually turn into 6 of diamonds. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's weird, right? It's super weird. That may not be that weird yet, but here's the part where it gets weird. If I pull over this queen of clubs and I hover over the queen of clubs, I don't know if you know, but actually all of the cards will turn into queens of clubs. See, because now there's 1, 2, 3, 4 queens of clubs. Super weird, huh? And actually, at this very moment, you can still kind of tell and see that all of these are queens of clubs. It's not until I take this card that is blank, and it's not until the blank side hits face up is when something strange happens. Because we just saw all of these faces printed with these and that and backs, but certainly they all can't be blank. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they are all blank now, huh? And now some people are like, they're skeptics and they're like, I want to see the backs. So I'm like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. There's the backs for you. That, my friends, I will call a successful finale. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. And once again, Hulu Dini, I'm sure that that would be like highly scrutinized as a, yo, you're not actually part of Hulu. We're gonna we're gonna tell you to stop. Thank you kindly for the applause and the claps. Chan the Magic Man, E Room. Thanks for the Hulu Dini idea, Brian Stewart. Um, yeah, so I think that is a wrap. Let's call that a stream. So let's find somebody to raid. Once again, thank you so much to everybody coming out and hanging out today. Hopefully you guys had fun. I definitely had fun. I did share a little bit about my creative stuff at the beginning of the stream, so hopefully everybody found that stuff interesting. I know it's kind of only like tangentially related to magic. I mean, it is just I wasn't doing it. I was just talking about it. So, all right, let's see who is on, who we want to raid. Oh, Sydney, welcome in. How's it going? And everyone just woke up now for a bit. Says welcome in, Sydney. Kisogo plays. Welcome in. How's it going? How are you doing? Um, guys, if you were not lurking, thanks for coming in. You're now in time for the raid. Um, just as a quick question, Sydney and Kiso, did you guys literally just come in, or were you lurking? Because I'll feel bad, and I'll almost feel obligated to do a trick to show you guys. No, I've been lurking. Oh, okay, I was reading. All right, awesome. Thank you, Kiso, for lurking. Greatly appreciate it. No, you're fine. Okay, thank you kindly. Greatly appreciate. Um, and all right, cool. All right. Once again, if you want to see more of me or just want to catch up on old VODs, yeah, I do want to get going and get to sleep because I do have work tomorrow. So there's that stuff. Um, and even if you don't watch that stuff, you play it in a tab. I'm sure it'll help. Thank you for the raid call there, Chan. Yeah, we're gonna be raiding out to somebody. I haven't decided yet. I'm still looking at who is up and on and ready to receive a raid, I guess. Let's see here. I was going through this. Is there anybody that we haven't raided ever that I want to raid? And then is there anybody we haven't raided in a long time that I should raid? Sydney just got here, but no worries. Let's raid. All right. Okay. Cool. Sorry, Sydney. Next time, you let me know. We'll do a trick for you. Okay. Let's go ahead and go over to. Oh, hold on. What is this person doing? Hold on. I got an ad. Let me see. No. All right. Let's see who else. Oh, I haven't rated this person in a long time. How do we feel about a video game? I have not played this video game, but I've rated this person once a long, long time ago. They're doing a Sims 4 challenge. All right. Let's see. Also, let me consult the spreadsheet really quick. I think we rated 7th Century pretty recently. Um, let's see. We rated 7th Century, yeah, a few streams ago. but hold on. When was the last time we rated Meow? I think it had been a while. Oh, we haven't rated out to Meow for a while, like months. What's Meow up to? Meow 2. What is Embervale? I don't know if I've really.
Okay,
It's a video
let's see
game, right?
that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's raid over to Meow 2, actually. All right. Cool. So, guys, Meow 2 is a Twitch friend, is a musician, plays piano. He actually also just came back from a New York trip, which I did hear about. Um, and then, but he's also been playing Embervale. I did get a chance to meet Meow at TwitchCon Vegas when I went a couple years ago. So, yeah, let's go over there. All right. So, raid Meow 2. And then if anybody gets left behind, uh, whoops. Forgot. Let me see. Raiding. Yeah. Okay. So there's the link, and then let me copy one of my own raid calls. Um, cool. Cool. All right. Excellent. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I had fun. Hopefully, you guys had fun. Thank you so much for coming out. Greatly appreciate everybody being here and spending time with me. And hopefully, you were entertained and enjoyed, and or I could provoke your thoughts, or I can make you chuckle with "I can't believe it's not magic." Spray. So there you go. I'll leave you with that thought in your mind. So when you sleep tonight, or try to sleep tonight, I can't believe it's not magic spray. There you go. All right. All right, everybody. Take care. Remember to hydrate, stretch, and sleep well. All right. See you, everybody. Bye.